Hello and welcome to the Whisky.com news on the 8th of July 2024. And we have a number of very interesting news. First of all, we start with Ardbeg, the Ardbeg Anthology, the Unicorn's Tale 14 years. It's the second bottling of the series. Last year I think we had the Harpy's Tale, now it's the Unicorn, and it's a mixture between bourbon and Madeira casks. 46% ABV and will be soon available at Whisky.de and Whisky.com. Then we have kind of a joint venture between Dr. Bill Lumsden from Glenmorangie and Azuma Makoto, and it will be a 23-year-old bottling. Azuma, Dr. Bill Lumsden we do know from Glenmorangie and Ardbeg, and Azuma Makoto is a Japanese artist and florist, so he builds these monuments with a lot of flowers. They look astonishing. The whiskey is a combination from single malts in bourbon and Chardonnay white wine casks, 46% ABV. Then we have an old brand getting rebuilt. Tomatin is gonna have the Antiquary blended Scotch whiskey on the market again. It's the oldest whiskey brand in Scotland. They want to start with 3 whiskies, a 15, a 21 and a 30 years old. All of them will have 40% ABV. Then we have Douglas Laing, and they are unveiling the Rock Island Tequila Cask Edition. And yes, the name gives you what is special about it. It got a finish in the ex-tequila cask and is a limited edition with 48% ABV without cask chill filtration and without coloring. And it is available at Whisky.de and Whisky.com. Then we have news from the recently opened or not opened producing distillery of Brora, and they're bringing out a new whiskey since 40 years, and it's a limited edition and it's a very old one, so no new production. It's a Brora 44 years old Untold Depth, it's called. Its recommended retail price is about £10,000. And yeah, the distillery of Brora is now more than 3 years into production. So that means they do have whiskey on site, as whiskey has to be aged for 3 years. But they have already said they will wait a few more years until they're gonna bottle it. They don't want to come out with a 3-year-old because 3-year-olds tend to be a bit too young. So I've just had a 5-year-old today, and that was kind of, I would say, the limit, but maybe they'll come out in 2, 3, 4 years. Yeah. Next up, we have the finish of the Bowmore Aston Martin joint ventures with the 4th and last bottling, a 21-year-old single malt. Tawny Port casks and Oloroso sherry casks is the maturation with 51.4% ABV for bottling strength. Then we have another distillery that goes into the market, and that is Dallas Stew. And by going into the market, I mean they're gonna be rebuilding it. It's the Aseo distillers. They talked with the historic Environment Scotland, because Dallas Stew was closed in 1983 and was converted into a museum, and now that they want to produce again, they had to talk with that history, I think it's a trust or something like that, and they got a contract now that they can be having a production, long-lasting production, and they want to have a modern visitor center, and I guess in the contract will be something that they have to also teach the history and stuff. So I guess there will be a lot from the museum inside the distillery, and I guess this is pretty nice. Then we have Kingsbarns, and they are bringing out a new core range bottling. It's the Kingsbarn Coal Town, it's called, is an homage to the miners and the coal in the region, and it was matured completely in ex-peated casks. So casks which had peaty, smoky whiskey in there before. 46% ABV and will hit the markets very soon. Then we have Royal Brackla, a new core range with a Pedro Ximénez cask finish. The Highland Distillery is enlarging their core segment. Natural color, no chill filtration, 46% ABV, and is available at Whisky.de and Whisky.com. Then we have the Isle of Raasay distillers, and with a nice new thing. They're starting the new oak species maturation series. First bottling is something special, and it was fully matured in casks from Colombian oak. So it's called the Isle of Raasay Quercus Humboldti Virgin Colombian Oak 2024. 50.7% ABV, no chill filtration. Yeah, then we go over to Aberfeldy, and they are opening their new warehouse experience. That gonna be new looks into the maturation process at the distillery in a historic warehouse from 1898. And they're gonna have new projectors, and they're gonna project an avatar of master blender Stephanie MacLeod, and she will talk to you and teach you everything about their maturation process. Then we have more investments into distilleries, and that's the Glendronach. They want to have a big enlargement of their visitor center. Brown Forman, the appropriator, wants to invest a few £1 million. They already did that in 2020 and 2022, and this is now the third investment, this time the Boynes Mill House, and they're going to be converted into a luxurious experience. Also, they're going to convert another warehouse into a visitor center. They want to be finished in 2026. Yeah, this is very nice because that is then their 200-year anniversary. Then we move over to the American side of whiskey. The Rebel 100 is gonna bring out a sherry finish for their whiskey. Rebel 100 with 100 proof. After 4 years of maturation, they also get a finish in Oloroso sherry cask, limited to 6,000 bottles. As you can see, I've already mentioned that a couple of times. All this finishing and different casks is gonna send more and more into the American whiskey business. It's not as strict as old fresh virgin oak casks as it used to be 10-20 years ago. Then we have a new distillery being built in Kentucky. It's the Eastern Light Distilling. It's in Moorhead, Kentucky, and one should be opened in 2025. It's a 230 hectare of land, 50,000 square meters should be for the distillery, and they're also gonna get warehouses, bottling line, and also visitor center, and they want to fill about 100,000 casks per year. Every cask about 200 liters, so you can imagine that's quite a big business. So it will not be a small business, it will be big. Then let's go to the international news. The German whiskey distillers, the SLYRS Bavarian Peat cask strength is a new addition from them, and it's as it says, cask strength limited to 1,500 bottles. It's peated at 40 ppm, 56.1% ABV, and available on Whisky.de and Whisky.com. Then we have news from England. The Lakes Distillery is now completely in the hands of Nyetimber. Nyetimber is an English wine producer. So yeah, wine producer, luxurious, and they paid about £71 million. After the takeover, the directors of the distillery stepped back, and now Nyetimber wants to rebrand or rebuild the distillery into a luxurious brand and want to continue it. So yeah, this is not the end of the Lakes Distillery, but they're gonna be converted with a little bit of help of the wine industry. That in the past, we've seen that already with a few distilleries. It worked. Sometimes it works quite well if they know where to go into. Like if the wine industry just gets into the maturation and the cask side, that is very good. If they want to really emphasize on, I don't know, their side of business, that might be a bit dangerous to just kill the brand, because they have different ideas, and wine and whiskey are really two different kind of brand. Yeah, not brands, but industries. Yeah. So this was it. I'm gonna see you in 2 weeks for the next news. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.